Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the series where I talk about all the games I played in the previous month. Month for this video is June of 2024, and as always, let's just get right into this smaller month. So one thing to probably notice here, there is a very sparse, representation of newer games here, because, I don't know, nothing that's been coming out this year much has really just had much interest in me at all. Oh, ignore the bracelet. It's a friendship bracelet from my niece. Why not? But yeah, there's just gonna be mostly older stuff here. So I'm gonna usually I just do the stuff I play myself, then I do the YouTube stuff, then the Twitch stream stuff, and kind of go in that order. There's no point in doing it this time. I'm just gonna go in order of how I find them. After going back to Watch Dogs for the 10-year anniversary, the first PS4 game I got, day one. Generally, a game that a lot of people did not love. I think I might have briefly mentioned this last month. I might play it once or twice. I'm finished after I think four goals, maybe five, probably maybe a bit more. I think it held up pretty well. Actually, I think it held up better than I expected to. It's better than I remember, and I really enjoyed it back then more than most people did. Even after finishing it, I have the platinum trophy. I got it right when it came out around the time. I probably took a year or two, maybe. I don't know. I'm just doing things. Most of them is going for the online, not the online. Yeah, the online. Sorry, it's late. I'm just doing the online stuff now, having some fun with that. Mostly the hacking stuff. Sometimes I go around and do other little side activities because I like to get hacked too. I like to have that. What's it called? Basically, you'll go into somebody else's world, do a little. You'll try to find them. Kind of like Assassin's Creed style online, where you try to find the player, hold square, hack, and then you have to go from 0 to 100% without being caught. It is intense, terrifying, close calls will happen. I love when they find you and then you get to try to drive away without getting killed, and you have a great chase where they're using the environment to their advantage. You are too. Fun chasing them as well. Being hacked, doing the hacking. It is one of the most fun online games ever. I try to stay away from people who've been on it for too long ago. Depending on how many points they have like a strong, weak, average rating. I stay away from the strong ones because people just like to hide in one corner. I don't know if they still do it. Back in like the heyday of this, whatever that means, for a game wasn't really liked that much. People would just hide in a spot where you could never sneak up on them, and they'd always be waiting for you and be like, "Oh look, there, bang." Well, yeah, that's fun. But yeah, still a great game. Even after a few weeks after finishing it, I still go back for a few games online every most days. So I'm glad I picked it back up. The only Watch Dogs game I even slightly have any interest in. Speaking of older games, Daxter, like 2 weeks ago, came out on PS5. The PSP game, I have it around somewhere. I couldn't find it. I remember playing this back in the day because I have it for some reason. I don't know where I got it, but I played it. Eh, don't remember much about it. I remember dropping it pretty quickly. This has been one of the most addicting gaming experiences of my life. I intended to go on for an hour or two. I was kind of nervous I wouldn't enjoy because I started up, especially for a stream, and then, oh, this is terrible. I was there for 6.5 hours or so. I think I got like 80% of the way through the main game. There's mini games too, which are a hit and miss. If it wasn't for the fact I had to be somewhere the next day and I had to go to bed, I would have 100% spent like the 10 hours just finished. I'm glad I didn't because I wouldn't be able to delve into the side stuff as much or do other little things. I got to platinum in two streams. It is one of the best PSP games I've ever played, which isn't really saying much. I haven't played a ton of them, but easily one of my top game experiences this year. Probably one of my top like five on the PS5 after a year, which is kind of sad to say, but hopefully that'll improve soon. Highly recommend. Amazing little side platformers, fun game. It takes place between Jack and Daxter 1 and 2. Your main weapon is a little fly swatter, well, electric bug zapper fly swatter thing. It's fine. But then you get a little spray gun. You can use it to shoot enemies, to stun them, to hover, to light them on fire. There are levels in this game I think will like some of the top like 10 out of 10 experiences ever. What an amazing game. It's only $10 if you buy the game. Free on PlayStation Plus if you have the right tier for it. Look, please pick this up. It's one of the most underrated games ever. What a masterpiece. I was hooked. Thanks to a friend of mine, I have gone back to Dead by Daylight. I played this back when it came out for a while. I was really into it. Spent a lot of time, and in I think about a week since I put like 26 hours into it. I had a few games a day for a little while, but oh my god, the last 2 days. I think I went from like 6 hours maybe in the first two games with my friend to about 20 something hours now. It is an addicting. I love playing as the killer. It's just one of the most addicting games out there. which is good because I need something new online. I used to play Overwatch, that kind of fell apart, unfortunately. It's nice to have something to go back to. It's taking up a lot of my time, but who knows how long that lasts. I'm just going to throw myself into what I can. They've even updated and fixed a lot of features since I last first played it. Obviously, it's been 8 years, but the core game is still the same. It took, I think, about 10 minutes, maybe like 2 or 3 games, before I felt like I'd never left. I was right back in. I'm after getting, I don't know if it means anything to be good as the killer, but I'm getting consistently multiple games in a row, 4 kills. I'm back. It doesn't take long to get right back into it. That's something to say. They've even fixed some issues I had with like the door that would just stay open forever, leaving, and then people would just wait right at the entrance, and then like, I guess my waste my time running up to you, and then out they go, waste of time. But they fixed some things. It's still not the best community because I swear, in my little time playing, I've got like 4 messages already just bitching about little things, or oh, you're doing this thing that I've arbitrarily decided is not okay. Oh, you're doing this thing that we've just decided as a community you shouldn't do, and I guess I'm beholden to that too, I guess, because apparently they have their little rules, and I'm supposed to abide by that too, even though they just came up with it for whatever reason they want. But yeah, other than that, God, am I hooked. If you've played the game, you'll know what I did there. I think it was like the first Saturday of the month. I played Rugrats. I Gotta Go Party on the Game Boy Color. I'm pretty sure it was Color. It's just a big mini game, a thon. You play a mini game, you play another one. I mean, there's just technically a game in between, but it's a hide and seek. The characters over there, click them, mini game. That's the whole structure. Some of the mini games are fun, some of them are awful, some of them are average. You can probably expect that. But overall, in the 2 hours or so I spent with it, I think might be overdoing that. Cute little mini game collection. I remember there being some that controlled weird as shit, and I did awful that, but I couldn't help myself playing again. Some of them, playing them once or twice, and I was just, I don't know, they're just my kind of games, and I absolutely love them. I can't see myself ever playing it again. I think I would have been kind of disappointed if I ever bought it. But as a quick little emulation game, good experience. After finishing Prince of Persia finally, I started with a new game which is Planet of the Apes on the Game Boy Color. I'm going to be honest, the similarities between Planet of the Apes and Prince of Persia are these specific games, not the lore, world, whatever, is staggering. The way you move, the awkward platforming sometimes, just the frustratingly long levels because you just die and die and die and get little things wrong. It's just, I don't know, it's weird. If it's very similar vibe. Even the graphics look the same. It looks similar. Despite that, I'm having fun with it. Generally, get one level done per turn, per play. Thankfully, last time I got two. You just move from left to right, killing some enemies with a knife or a gun. It makes between generic enemies like snakes. Is a bear a generic enemy? I don't know. And of course, apes. They have anything from bats to fists to guns. But you also collect 10 flags throughout the level. That's what's going to take up the most time. Because you get like a rank at the end. It's like a rank at the end that tallies up the amount of enemies you killed, the flags you got, and then the time you did. If you get them all, you get a complete medal rank. I don't know if it does anything. I can't find any information on it. It's one of those games like Bubsy on the PS4, the Return of the Fluffies or whatever. The one that came back after like 20 years. The first game in the franchise after like 20 years. If you just run from left to right and finish the level, you would probably do it in like 2 minutes. But it's the collectibles that kind of make the game. If you don't go for them, I don't even know why you're playing it. You're going to finish it in like 20 minutes. But yeah, it's decent. Because I've been watching the movies over the last few weeks, kind of on and off, so I'm up to the remake. And it just seemed appropriate. Why not? There's also Game Boy Advance and a PS1 version. I'll probably check them out eventually. Maybe right after. I don't know. It depends. It depends how I feel at the time. But yeah, it's a fun, little, charming, primitive game. I've talked about Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Duel Stories enough, so after I finished that, I moved on to Pokemon Crystal. Something I actually did try to do here is near the right after Pokemon Yellow, I think. But for one reason or another, I just between like recordings going awkwardly, little things like that, just not getting time, not really feeling the motivation at the time because maybe because I just finished the Pokemon game. But I'm back. It's good to be back. I'm in love with this game already again. The second generation is probably my least familiar with one. I played Ruby and Sapphire and Sapphire or Emerald countless times, spent a lot of time in that world. Pearl and Platinum I finished a few times and exhausted everything you could do in that game, I think. And the first generation couldn't even count how many times I've gone through them. So it's good to be going through Crystal for actually the first time. I've played Silver, I've played the remakes of Silver and of Silver. Never played through Crystal. Currently, I've just gotten to Azalea Town. The only thing I can kind of give this as a critique so far is it's a little bit disappointing because 90% I feel like at least like more than half of what I've seen so far are Gen 1. Which going to a new generation, just I know that the regions are more linked than any of the future ones, but I want more Gen 2. I want more new Pokemon. Other than that, loving it. It's so good to be back. The nostalgia is crazy. And finally, after finishing Daxter, I moved on to a game that I've been thinking about doing here for so long on Twitch. An undersung childhood fucking like a massive thing from my young days. Donkey Kong 64. I think it's one of Rareware's more kind of not forgotten, but not really as revered games. Banjo Kazooie, Battletoads, Perfect Dark, GoldenEye, they're the ones that get all the attention. People remember the DK rap, but other than that, I don't ever hear anyone talk about this game or the bosses from it or the levels. And the bosses are the highlight. I'm always on to the most famous one, probably the Jack in the Box. Can't wait to go back. I just feel like this game is more forgotten than the rest of them, but I know I've said this a few times here, but it is so good to be back. I think it was like 2, maybe 3 years ago I played this for myself a little bit. I got to the second level, turned the game off, realised I've been spoiled by autosaves. Lost a good level and a bit of progress, and I love the game. It's amazing. I actually just got a panic of if I saved the last time I streamed it. I hope I did. But yeah, I love the game, but not to go through the same thing twice in a row in too close of a span. Losing that much progress in an old game is a real demotivator. It's a big collectathon, so you collect bananas, you collect your other Kongs who have been kidnapped, who I'm not sure if they appear in any game ever before or after. And like I said, the bosses, the first boss in this game, I think single-handedly created my love for armadillos. It's probably why they're my favorite animal in the world. And only negatives, the camera can be fucking disaster. And the backtracking, even for an old game, it's like, go to this pyramid. Okay, cool. But to do that, you have to shoot up here. Cut, you shot the thing. Now you can go inside. Oh, now you got this new character. To get a gun from to go back outside. Cool. Now you go back inside to get a thing. And then you'll have to come back here later with a different character and with other things. It's a lot. But still, it holds up really well. Can't wait to play more, hopefully tomorrow. Because it is one of my favourite childhood games out there. But anyway, that is everything I played this month. Like I said, it's a sparse month, especially for newer games. I think Dead by Daylight is the newest thing I'm playing for this month at all, which is crazy to me. July looks like a much better month for new games, so hopefully I'll get back on track. But nothing this year has been just sucking me in the same way. It's just been a good time to go back for me. But yeah, as always, let me know what games you've been playing this month, what new stuff you've been playing, what you've gone back to, and as always, see you for the next one, which will hopefully be a lot more varied.